So I'm pretty sure since we're going so far into the game, updates are coming out every, I think, 5 decades. We already know what weapon or things falls into what categories. There's the godlike categories that contain the spaz, Tommy gun, juggernaut armor, those types of things. And there's the why does this even exist categories, which contains the Uzi, crawler, and those types of things. But then there's those categories that you just have to question about why is this still here, or why has nobody like mentioned this of like a buff or anything like that. That's what we're gonna be talking about, alright? So this weapon has to be next to the snow shovel of rarity. The snow shovel is by far the most rarest weapon in the game, and it's mostly because nobody has it, or people do have it and they're just not using it because it sucks, to be honest. But this weapon sucks even more than the snow shovel, and it costs actual money to actually purchase. And I'm talking about you paying money for you to get Robux, and with those Robux from your hard-earned money, you buy for this thing. And what I'm talking about is the Christmas tree sword. This weapon is basically one of the other rarest weapons in the game, and it's not by a good thing. It's basically notorious for basically doing no damage and having no abilities, even though it's a Robux weapon. Usually whenever you purchase a game pass or just regularly just any Robux thing, they would always be like some sort of con to this, pros to this, you know, something that's like super good about it, but there's like one con that kind of destroys it, or maybe there is no cons. But no, this has no pros, just only cons. Number 1, no ability. Number 2, Robux. Number 3, no damage. Number 4, why is it still here? This weapon does 30 damage per hit. You swinging it around doesn't really have anything to do with it. But what does have something to do with it is the fact that there's literally every single weapon apart from the baton that is better than this weapon. It would have been cool to see this weapon, I don't know, like every time you killed a zombie or two, it would drop presents, and I don't know, it would like blow up, or like you would get gold coins or something like that. But no, all you do is just swing it around and they'll eventually die. If you're fighting with them tryhards, then this does nothing. I literally played a few games with it and I barely used it. That's just how useless it is. I usually use weapons like the sledgehammer, katana, because they actually have a purpose and they actually increase my chances of winning. This weapon, on the other hand, decreases your chances of winning because number 1, it hurts you physically and mentally when you pull it out and zombies just look at you and saying to yourself, really? That's literally what you're gonna use instead of like, I don't know, like a spaz or something? You're gonna use this thing? I mean, it would have been less, I guess, surprising if you used a baton, but you using that thing, you wasted actual money for that? Yes, you did. This is by far one of the most scammiest things ever. 30 Robux for this. You know what I could have done for 30 Robux? Probably bought a sneakers bar, probably bought some nice shoes, even though they cost way more than 30 Robux. But either way, this 30 Robux could have gone to something much better than the Christmas tree sword. Barely does any damage. Just, I guess the only thing it has for it is that it looks kind of cool, but really it's only because it's a holiday looking item and not the fact that it literally does nothing. You barely damage infected, and when you're constantly being attacked whichever direction, you would just wish you had some sort of other weapon like a ham to regenerate that health, a katana to kill the near zombie, a crowbar to take out an an item from a crate and use it. But no, all you have is a butter knife, and you just have to deal with it until you eventually go back to the lobby and just take it off and, well, just put on something better. In my opinion, if you're ever thinking about buying this for whatever reason, just know that it will be the greatest mistake in your life. I bought this back, like, I believe in 2019 because I thought it looked really cool and it had to be strong as hell. But then after like a few hours of using it, I'm like, oh. And I say hours mostly because I barely used it, but mostly because, number 1, I was already fine with the old OG Tommy gun. But me using it back then, I was always confused on why this never did any damage. This gun, or weapon as you could say, is just the epitome of pointless and useless, that I would literally have the crowbar other than it. Please do not waste Robux on this. You can spend it something better on it.